So you just downloaded Ableton Live 12 and have no idea where to start, but you want to make music? This video is for you. This is your first 10 minutes in Ableton Live 12. Let's get into it. What is going on, guys? KrysticMusic here. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, welcome. We're glad to have you. Today, this is going to be your first 10 minutes in Ableton Live 12. I'm just going to run down what you absolutely need to know to go ahead and get started in making music, because I know looking at this screen when you open it up is going to feel very daunting. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. I know you can get like a light version. This is the full version. So you may not have some audio effects, but the basic needs are still there. I used to use light when I first started and I didn't have any trouble, especially when I started getting into plugins. So we're going to get right into this first 10 minutes. I suggest you open up your Ableton Live and kind of follow along. I haven't made one of these since Ableton Live 9, so here we go, 2025, Ableton Live 12, let's get it. So this is the first thing you're gonna see when you launch Ableton Live 12. The first thing you're gonna look at is the bottom left of your screen right here. It's called the info view. So basically, whatever you highlight with your mouse, it's going to tell you what it is. So that's what you want to look for. If you just have like an hour free time, or you're just looking for some time to kill, just literally go over everything, click as many buttons as you can. You know, you're not going to break it. Don't be scared about breaking it. You know what I mean? So if I were to go to, like, say this MIDI track, it would say track title bar. So click to select this track, and I click it and I now highlight this track. Anything you highlight, so if I want to go to the key, current scale root, so the root note is C right now. This is going to be your best friend if you're brand new to Ableton Live, just to see what exactly everything is, what every button is. So I always tell people that that would be the first reference. If you just don't know what's going on, you just look at that and it'll tell you. So next, there's going to be two views that you're going to be working in depending on what you're doing. And session view is mainly what you see like what churches use, and like they have their clips loaded up. Maybe they'll have like drum samples and they'll use like a MIDI pad. Sometimes you'll see those on clips, but what you're probably used to for music production and beat making is going to be this type of view. So this is going to be your meat and potatoes right here. This is where you're going to put all your tracks, MIDI tracks, and so forth. So these are the different types of views that you're going to be using. I almost always, for what I do, use this view. So I automatically go up here to the top right and click session view, and I automatically work from here. Those are the two views. So that's the main thing you want to look for. Next thing I want to touch on, besides the actual view and what you're looking at, is the top bar. Very important. So this is where all your things for basically the progression of a song is. So your stop, play. If you want to record, you would press record. So you have the BPMs. If you want to tap your own BPM, you can just tap it and it'll set your BPM. This is a metronome. You can select it to have a count in if you know you have a singer and you're counting in, so it'll count in before the actual start, before it actually starts. So it'll sound something like this, and it'll count them in, and then it'll start recording. And then this is your key if you just want the key of the song. I should really be doing this because sometimes I'm like, wait, what key was I in again, when I'm like creating my melodies or something. This is the whole session record if you want to record a session. And then this is the loop feature. So these 5 measures here, if I wanted to loop it, let's say it loops, it'll just loop back to the first measure. This is your computer MIDI keyboard. So if you don't already have a keyboard, do not worry. You can use your keyboard, your computer keyboard, your laptop keyboard as a piano keyboard. So you don't need any fancy equipment, you know what I mean? And I'll put on the screen right now, if I can find it, which I'm pretty sure I can, what the notes are for your keyboard. It's like a piano, but on your computer keyboard. I do use key almost every time to press something to my keyboard. So for example, real quick, if you press key, it'll just map anything to your keyboard. So if I wanted this record button, I just put it to R usually, and then I press key to finalize it. Let's say I wanted to record a MIDI track. I press R and it automatically starts recording. That's just for example. So those are the things from the top bar you need to know to start making music. Next is going to be your library that automatically comes stock with Ableton. The one website I do recommend to everybody is splice.com. You can make a free account on there, and it gives you like credits that you can use to download samples, presets, plugins. There is rent to own plugins. You can get things like Serum, Massive, basically instrument programs that help you create sounds. So if you wanted to create a guitar sound, you don't have a guitar, you can get a preset for it, or you can make your own guitar sound with those types of programs. And you can make it through Ableton stock too, but if you wanted to add more to your catalog, that's one way, is Splice's rent to own program. I'm not sponsored or anything. I'll leave a link to Splice in the description if you want to just go check it out yourself. Been around for a while, so it's highly dependable and the UI is really great. They even have a desktop app. For some reason, Splice does take up CPU, so depending if you're working on a laptop or if your computer can handle it, I say just test it out, but I'll leave a link in the description. Moving on, you're going to your library. You go to all, it'll select everything that's in Ableton, everything that's in stock in your particular Ableton, whether you have Ableton Light or Suite. You can just go through all of these. There's drum toolkit, audio effects, there's just everything. But if you wanted to get specific, there's specific sounds that you can have. So if you go to sounds, so basically you would drag these onto the MIDI section, and to make a MIDI track, you would just put insert MIDI track. And I do recommend whenever you right click to actually look at these shortcuts, because you're going to want to know these, or you could just like look up online. I'm pretty sure they have it, but those will come within like a couple days that you'll memorize those, or like a week. So these are basically your drum racks or MIDI racks. So they're already preset things. So this is like a string guitar. So if you put that in there, it'll go to the track. These are the MIDI effects for that track. So this is a 12 chorus guitar here. And if you want to play it, select this button to activate the track, and you can play it, which I'm playing on my computer keyboard right now. To make an actual clip out of it, you want to highlight how many measures you want, and you would insert empty MIDI clip, and it'll create a MIDI clip for you. If you click on it, it'll open a virtual piano keyboard for you. And if you want to zoom in, zoom out, you hold Control, and if you're using a mouse, you just scroll in and out to zoom in. Control and Alt are going to be your best friend in Ableton. So if I wanted to make a melody, you can make a melody in here. You can visually see it. So that's the MIDI part. You can do the same thing with the drums. You can make your own drum rack. So if I put this right here, I can go on, let's say, Splice or something, and I can input specific drums that I want to use onto each little square that you see. So if I wanted a specific clap, I would just put that, let's say, here, and now my clap is in there. I can do whatever I want with it. So that's just the empty drum rack. And what you saw here is just pre-made drum racks. All that's different, no big deal there. Instruments are basically what it sounds like, are just specific instruments. So it's basically what the sounds and drums are. And next are the audio and MIDI effects. So effects for the audio, and then effects for your MIDI tracks. So for example, we just made a MIDI track. And by the way, MIDI is short for musical instrument digital interface. So basically it's just digital instruments, right? Like your digital guitar, digital piano, digital drums, like, you know what I mean? And if you do have like a guitar or something, that's a whole other video on how to hook it up and everything like that. So for MIDI effects, let's say if I wanted to put an arpeggiator on this, so we put that on our MIDI track, and once again we have it selected. So our audio effects are referring to this MIDI track right here, this pink one. With that effect, it sounds like this, and without it, sounds like this. So you can definitely play around with all these types of effects. Arpeggiators just arpeggiates, what basically it repeats, and you can change the way it repeats. So same with the audio effects, you would just put it on an audio track. So say if I wanted to put an audio effect, EQ8, I'd put it on the audio track, and it would go down here to my audio effects. So this is just the audio waveform for what we just made. Turn it up so you can see the waveforms. Basically now this is an audio track, and this is my audio. So you can put any effect on here, put a delay on here if you wanted, and kind of mess with it that way. So basically you can add any effect to any audio track or any MIDI track. And then the last thing is just your audio library under places here with your user library. So basically you would just press this add a folder section and then put whatever folder you have for your sample. For example, I go to a random one here and it's just audio files that I have. So say if I wanted a clap, I just go in and add a clap, and there it is right there from my folders that I added. But that is it, guys. So hopefully it's not as daunting when you look at it, and hopefully this was able to help you, at least guide you on how to start and what everything is, and just kind of experimenting with this. I wanted to make this quick but very straightforward. So let me know in the comments if I missed anything to you intermediate to advanced Ableton users, some things that helped you, some things that you wish you would have knew when you first started. I know it's a lot, and you can make almost a video on any effect or MIDI effect or anything within Ableton. So this is just bare bones, very beginner tutorial, and I hope it helped you in some way. I am going to make a stock Ableton track so that y'all can follow along. That'll be here in the next few videos so that y'all don't have to worry about buying plugins or trying to download or install plugins. So we'll definitely do that and rock with it that way. I'm making more beginner friendly tutorials, because looking back, I wish I would have had something that explained what was going on and I didn't have to like do trial and error, because I definitely was that person that I didn't have everything that you could have, but I was like, what can I do with what I do have at the moment? But anyways, I hope that helped. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe if you did, and as always, keep making music, keep listening to music. My name is KrysticMusic. I'm out. Peace.